Hello everyone, welcome to Melissa's Musings. As you guys know, I'm Melissa Steele, real estate agent extraordinaire. I'm sporting. It took me until like halfway through today to realize it was even a holiday. John and I are like, holiday? What holiday? I was in yoga class and it was slightly more full than usual on a Monday, and I was like, lying there doing my thing, getting very zen. And after the class, she was like, oh, we had such a great turnout today thanks to President's Day. And I was like, oh, President's Day, it's a holiday. So those of us in real estate or who may be an entrepreneur or running your own business, you may have totally missed the holiday too. So for those of you joining me, thanks so much. I see Noon on here, CJ's rolling on in. Thanks guys, give me some love, give me some hearts, show me that you're here. So I'm listening to an awesome Audible original. It's actually one of the first ones I've listened to. It's Mel Robbins, and I love her. She is super, smart, fascinating. Like, if you want to start learning self-development, start with one of her books. They're super easy to read. She's so charismatic and has so much personality that comes through. And what's really cool about this Audible original, it's called Take Control of Your Life. And Mel Robbins interviews certain individuals and then offers them coaching and then does like a case study on them. So it's extremely fascinating. And one of the things that really resonated with me, I was listening to it yesterday, and there was one of the case studies talked a lot about perfectionism. And those of you guys know, at the start of my Melissa's Musings journey and at the start of my self-development journey, I was like queen of perfectionism. Like that, growing up, my parents were very rigorous. They trained me in a very powerful way to, be the best that I could be, to strive to be the best version of myself, to strive to get good grades, to, do the best in positions and jobs and things like that. And what that has over time, especially as I've grown into an adult, what that has developed for me was perfectionism. And the almost analysis paralysis that comes along with perfectionism would sometimes stall me in my path. And that's something that a lot of us get into, right? Analysis paralysis, that perfectionism. It's like wanting things to be so perfectly aligned for the start that we just never start. And one of the things that I've really had to learn, that I've really tried to share with you guys, is that there's never a perfect start. There's literally never going to be the perfect opportunity. So you get to create it and you get to just leap and go for it. And one of the things that was really powerful as I was listening yesterday to Mel Robbins, Take Control of Your Life, this perfectionism case study was fascinating because so much of it resonated really deeply with me. It reminded me a lot of my childhood, of the things that she experienced, and then of course the anxieties and the stresses that she experienced, the person who was being coached. And what was super powerful for me was that she started to recognize her involvement in the perfectionism. And one of the things that they identified was her bodily reaction to the fear of not being perfect. So, for example, she referenced one of her very first perfectionism, meltdown moments was when she got a 93 on a test. She was typically used to getting 100s. She was in a gifted program, and she got a 93, and she was crushed. She immediately felt her face flush. She immediately felt the tears springing to her eyes. She immediately felt like she wanted to pass out. She felt lightheaded. And I started to think of my symptoms when I am experiencing the fear around not being perfect. And I thought about the times in my life where I've realized that I've made a massive mistake. Maybe I've done an entire project and thought I did it correct. And I thought back to my last job, actually, where there was a few instances where I totally misunderstood the assignment. And, and that's on me and my manager, right? Communication breakdowns on both ends. But where I had put a lot of time and effort into something, and 5 minutes into my presentation, based on the body language of my managers and who I was presenting to, realized I was totally off the mark. And if you guys are familiar with that feeling, whatever it feels like in your body, what was really powerful for me to understand was that your body produces a reaction for 90 seconds. So that fight or flight response, that, oh shit, I fucked up, or oh shit, I'm doing something wrong, or oh shit, it's not perfect, or oh shit, I'm running late, or whatever it looks like for us that's not fitting the box of what we have designed for ourselves, right? Our body will actually start to react before our mind does. So before we even realize and start mentalizing okay, I got a 93 on my test and this is now life crushing, your body reacts first. So as her mind started to register that 93 grade, already the tears were in her eyes. Already she felt that hotness in her chest. And what was really powerful is Mel Robbins made such an important distinction that we have 90 seconds of bodily reaction, and then we get to make a choice. We get to make a choice to shift powerfully and quickly within 90 seconds, or if after 90 seconds we are still feeling stress, anxiety, that like overwhelming whoosh feeling of whatever it is that we're dealing with, your body stops producing that on its own after 90 seconds. Does that register with you guys? Give me a surprised face. Give me a surprised emoji face here if you did not know that after 90 seconds, your body stops producing the stress hormones. This is backed by science. In Mel Robbins' book, she talks all about it, and I encourage you to read it. Fascinating, and I'll go into greater detail later, but the first 90 seconds, your body produces that fight or flight response, and you have an opportunity to make a choice within 90 seconds to shift out of it and do things like deep breathing, take a walk, jump up and down, like literally do anything else within 90 seconds to start shifting your focus. But if we make a conscious choice to sit in that shit and to let our body continue to produce the stress responder, it will continue to produce the stress responder. But after 90 seconds, it is a conscious choice. Your body no longer automatically is producing those chemicals. So I thought this was fascinating because there have been countless days where shit has gone down. And I'm 4 hours in and I've got a killer stomachache because my stress hormones have been pumping for 4 freaking hours. And I'm a wreck, right? And we've all had those days where we didn't shift within 90 seconds. I, for one, know that I am not an expert at this. I am not an expert at this yet. And I just learned this. So now, in the last 24 hours, anytime I am experiencing some kind of bodily reaction, like this morning I had my lender call me and he was like, "This deal might fall out." Whoosh. I got 90 seconds. I got 90 seconds, bitch. So I gotta shift. And like, it's really powerful to know. So I hope that resonates with you guys. I hope that now you can start to recognize when your body starts to produce those reactions, you got 90 seconds, friend. And 90 seconds goes by real quick. So if you're frantic, if you're feeling that energy coming up, if you're in fight or flight mode and you're feeling it, take 90 seconds and start deep breathing, or get up from your desk, or literally take a walk. One case literally walks down 5 flights of stairs and up 5 flights of stairs and they're reset. So there are a variety of different things that you as an individual can do and to really recognize for yourself. So Noon, how do I shift? Great question. I've been practicing deep breathing. So for me, I don't breathe like a normal human being. One of the things that I recognize when I'm like 4 hours into a really stressful time, I'm like, oh my God, have I like not been breathing the last 4 hours? Like, oh, right? So for me, in the first 90 seconds, as soon as I'm realizing that reactor, I'm starting to shift by breathing. So what I'm doing is I'm recognizing, okay, I got 90 seconds. And I hold it. And then I let it out. And I hold it. And then I breathe in. And I hold it. And I breathe it out. And I hold it. So that's what's been working for me. You can very easily get up and take a walk. You can do things like 50 sit-ups, or 10 push-ups, or 50 jumping jacks, or meditating for 5 minutes, or immediately getting into a different space, or getting a snack, or taking a cool drink of water, or having reminder notes for yourself so that when you hit when you start to feel that, you pull the note out of your pocket. It's a reminder. So there's a lot of different ways that you can shift. Whatever one works for you is the one that will work for you, and you get to choose it. And thank you guys for watching. And thanks for that powerful question, Noon. That's a really great question. It's hard to know how to shift without having the tools. So I encourage you guys to think about some things that relax you as a human being. Maybe it's a snack. Maybe it's breathing. For me, breathing is key because I realize I'm not doing it most of the time. So that's what I've been doing. But I encourage you to practice. Please comment what's working for you, because if it can help anybody else, that's awesome. I love you guys. Talk to you soon.